Do you know what that means? Then let me teach you a lesson. Are we going to stand around here all day, or are we going to fight?
Welcome to the WSJ Café. Today our guests are Matthew Vaughn. He's the director of the new movie Kingsman, The Secret Service, and we have the star of the movie, Colin Firth, Oscar-winning actor. Thanks a lot for coming. Now, this is a big action movie and special effects in it. Not something that you, Colin, are necessarily known for. You know, you're an Oscar winner with the King's Speech. What about this movie attracted you? What made you decide it was time to unleash the sort of your inner action hero?
Well, I was never quite sure that time came. It was a decision. No, it was this gentleman. I was told Matthew was interested in the meeting, so that's what got me in. Because I don't want to make him blush here, but I think there's nobody quite like him. I've liked everything he's done. And he's one of the people you just watch. I think he's a kind of genre all of his own. Hugely diverse, very bold, very adventurous, and so I wanted to hear what he had to say. And it got more interesting as it went along. Basically, there was no script to show me yet, so he gave me an overview of the film. And he talked about action and the fact that training would be involved, and the fact that he was casting me not because I would be expected to be doing this, but precisely because I was the last person on earth anybody would expect. And so I realized he was talking to the right person. And a year later, and 6 months training of 3 hours daily, here we are.
Now, is it true that you actually documented the bruises and bumps you got during the filming? Is that true?
Not meticulous, no. I mean, I said that I was being a little flippant. It did happen, yes. I mean, I noticed that as soon as I had something to show for, you know, the riggers, the reflex of the stuntmen wasn't, can we get a medic in? It was, get a camera so that we can prove to people that you're doing this.
And now, Matthew, what about Colin made you think, I want to see him kick butt. I want to see him kick some spy butt. What about him made you think that? Pride and Prejudice, maybe, or?
Bridget Jones' Diary.
The reason I wanted to see it is because it'd be hard to believe that he could do it, and it would be a surprise. And I think, you know, if I'd cast Jason Statham in this role, I don't think people would be sitting here as excited because they would just expect it. And this movie, it is an action movie, but there's a lot more than that. It's got it's the story, it's got political views, it's about creating what really is a truly modern day gentleman spy. And the action is just the tinsel, should we say it.
What was interesting is, of course there was the physical stuff. It was starting by trying to get some of the hinges moving. And then to an act of memory, of learning, because it's a dance. I mean, the big fight sequences are a dance. If you're on the wrong foot, if I'm on my left foot instead of my right foot, or somebody else's, then there'll be a collision, and that's when the cameras come out and photograph the bruise. But on top of that, what I don't think I'd quite realized was the fight as a story. You have to act it. You know, I could have, even if I could have perfected every single dance move, it would have just looked like meaningless mechanics, unless you tell the story. Even if it's just, I need to get there and this is what's stopping me. Even if it's this arm's moving because that's defensive and that's it. So those little things were constantly being sort of drummed into me.
Was there a scene in this movie that was the most difficult to shoot, that was the most challenging and maybe physically sort of pushed you to some limits?
I mean, it was the big church fight. Because that's single camera continuous sequence. That does not depend on editing.
No, I don't know. What about you going to eat McDonald's? That pushed you pretty far.
I never actually got, I never got as far. Samuel Jackson tried to drag out the end of the scene when we're about to take a bite.
Right. There's a scene where Samuel Jackson serves some McDonald's food. I'm not going to give anything away, but that happens in the film.
Yeah, I never, it's not something against the McDonald's. It's just because one bite of something in the scene becomes, by the time you finish shooting it, 50 bites.
So nothing against McDonald's, but you just couldn't eat all of their food in the scene. Well, but nothing against them.
He couldn't eat 50 Big Macs.
Supersize me wasn't the idea. And also, I had to come, you know, I have to be able to close that jacket the next day. So.